And then when we were walking away from the coffee shop, she spotted this place. And I was like, what is this? And it turns out that the city was having a day. They were literally having a day dedicated to all their sports teams and all of like the culture that was there and all the businesses. Child, we had a time. We both won these little bobblehead baseball players. We wanted to actually get a hockey stick, but the line for that was long, child. But we still were able to see them like doing like live performances. I got to be a kicker. I'm not a kicker. But I made something happen.
5 shows made $3 million a week. You are now looking at the Bestie Elite. You are now looking at the Bestie Elite. You are now looking at the best.
Hey there, besties. Welcome back to the summer sessions. Live life with me and learn something on the way. So today we're going to be spending the day with me as a model off duty, but on a travel job. Okay, so I've told you guys this once, I'll tell you this twice, I will die on this hill. I am not one of the models who's gonna go into a city, do my job and go home. No. I don't care how many times I've been to New York, I'm enjoying the city. I don't care how many times I go to LA, I'm enjoying the city. Especially if it's a city that I don't plan to go to outside of my job. Oh yeah, for sure. We're gonna have a time. All right, so I thought, what better way to relive this moment than to also teach you guys what to really do when you're out of town to make the most of your time as a model who's traveling, okay? Hopefully you guys got into the outfit because it's cute and we're ready to go. Now, the first thing I have to say is the preparation for this whole thing happened because I planned. I am very type A. I am not going to shy away from it. I did some research before I got there. I did some research on the plane. I did some research in the airport. I did some research the night before, okay? Because every city has different things, different times of year, okay? You're going to see amazing things that we just stumbled across even outside of the plan. But it's all because we put ourselves in a position to enjoy the city instead of just sitting at the hotel. Okay, and I say we because a fellow model of mine for this job, I told her my plans was to like go out for the day before we, showed up to set. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'd love to do that too. And so we ventured out together and it was a vibe, okay? But you guys are gonna see that for yourselves. So now that I've done the preface to everything, doing your research, the next thing I want you guys to understand is be responsible. I love a good buddy system. I understand that's not available for everybody for every job. There's a lot of times where I solo it, so being responsible is really important. If you know that your job is going to be at, 7 a.m. call time the next day, maybe don't go out till 3 a.m. Maybe not, right? Also be honest with yourself. Understand how much you plan to spend. Like, you don't have to ball out every time you go to a new city. You can have really comfortable and extravagant fun without spending your last dime, okay? All right, next, be cute, because you never know who you're gonna run into, especially when you're popping up in places like this. Okay, this is Onefold. I found them. They had really good reviews. The food seemed like very unique to the city, which, by the way, what city do you think I'm in so far from what you've seen? Drop your guesses in the comments below, and be truthful, because by the end of this video, it's gonna be very, very apparent where I am. Unfortunately, Onefold, the aesthetics were there, but the food was just okay. The food was just okay. All right, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. All right. Still worth a cute little pick, and it was very filling, but just okay as far as flavor. Now, outside of being responsible and being cute, be adventurous. Not to the point of being dangerous, okay? But be adventurous. Me and you see my little girl, my girl right there, it's giving shortcut, it's giving, it's giving travel. It's giving grown woman. I love her. She's so awesome. I hope she's doing well. Anyway, we came across this coffee shop because she wanted to get coffee, but she doesn't actually like coffee, so she actually wanted a tea. So we came back to this place twice because she actually got coffee when she should have got tea. Anyway, not the point. The point is, we were adventurous. After we got done eating, she said she needed to pick me up for energy, so we just Googled coffee shops. And then when we were walking away from the coffee shop, she spotted this place. And I was like, what is this? And it turns out that the city was having a day. They were literally having a day dedicated to all their sports teams and all of the culture that was there and all the businesses. Child, we had a time. We both won these little bobblehead baseball players. We wanted to actually get a hockey stick, but the line for that was long, child. But we still were able to see them doing live performances. I got to be a kicker. I'm not a kicker. But I made something happen. But I know I was going to win the prize for that one. Now, we did lots of photos, we did lots of walking, we worked up an appetite, we got a little scavenger hunt. All of this was free. All this was free just because we decided to be adventurous. And we look cute, child. People give you a lot of free stuff when you cute. People talk to you, people tell you all the nice little hidden secrets. It was a vibe. It was such a vibe. But as adventurous as we were, we still had a what? A plan, y'all. We still had a plan. Okay, we still had places that we wanted to see. This was a very, I guess, landmark place in the city. So we had a plan to, go here, see what they had, see some of the shops, see if there was any other food that we wanted, see if we could find something on the scavenger hunt, So even though we were adventurous and even though, we went off the beaten path, we still had things in our head that we wanted to do and wanted to see. And I think the same thing should be true for you. Like, you should have a plan of things that you want to experience and still also plan for life. So you should also still plan for there to be things that you might come across that might be more interesting than what you originally planned, just like this. We stopped at this train station, which is the same train that's going to take us back to the hotel and back to our job. But we sat in the bar, and because they were getting ready to actually, they were just getting ready to open. Like, this was opening. And I looked at their menu and they had absinthe. And absinthe isn't really commonly sold at a lot of commercial bars and chains and things like that. So it's very hard to come across it, especially in certain places on the East Coast. So that was such a treat. It really was. Most important thing, be safe, y'all. This is my little outfit because I'm getting ready to go to work. The call time was happening. This is how I ran through the airport because I literally was on the verge of being late. But she was cute. I worked out a little too hard, though, because my thighs were eating up this little romper. But I was on time. I had a good time. And the job itself was amazing. But the reason I had to end off with be safe is because sometimes that goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because in all honesty, anything could happen, even in a very, safe city or safe scenario. Even if you're with a person, anything can happen at any time. So just make sure you are safe. All right, now here we are heading, because now I'm on the clock, y'all. That was the whole day that I had before the day where I actually started to work. And yes, I was working in the airport. Fun fact, this is not the first time I've actually worked in an airport, actually got paid to be a model in an airport. It's not the first time, and I'm sure it won't be the last. But this was such a cute travel job. That's me and the rest of the models who were all on the escalator together. Fun fact, I have PTSD from this airport. If you ever go to this airport, it's very nice. It's very vast. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. But I will save it for another actual vlog. I'll tell you guys what happened to me at this airport for sure. But for here, I just want to keep it cute. I made so many connections here, and I'm talking about I learned about a whole new market that I had never considered before. The people who are doing hair, doing makeup, doing wardrobe, those people who are based there, right? And so I got a lot of connections. I got a lot of people who I now feel confident and comfortable reaching out to if I'm ever in the city. And that would not have been possible if I did not know how to network. Okay, these are all the big wigs, these are all the people who are behind the camera, behind the project. They are amazing. But I want you guys to understand that there are so many things that, I didn't clearly take videos of, such as the actual job itself. Because, signed an NDA, the project's not out yet, the whole 9 yards. But this was such an eye-opening experience. I was able to have such a good time before I actually showed up to set. I was able to make money on set. I was able to comfortably travel and enjoy the city that I was traveling to. And I was able to show up and do my job as a model and really bring the client's vision to life, I want you guys to also know that this could be you, okay? It's one thing to know where the jobs are. It's another thing to know how to land them. So if you're ever a model who actually wants to make money, not just, traveling, but even just where you are, put the word model below and I'll reach out. We can hop on a quick call and put together a strategy to take you from, unpaid to consistently booked. But other than that, that's it for this summer session. Thank you for living life with me and learning something on the way. I will talk to you again on the next one. Bye.